and welcome to the Art of Decluttering podcast. Happy New Year! Happy New Year. I hope that you had a lovely Christmas and Boxing Day and that weird week between Christmas and New Year that you never quite know what day of the week it is. And here we are, and it's the 1st of January 2023, which is mind-blowing that we're here, but we are. And I'm excited for this year. I know I'm the type of personality that gets excited every new year because of the potential of the year. And I'm going to stick with that. I don't care that some years it's been terrible and some years it's been amazing. I think part of the joy is actually in the anticipation. And so the anticipation of a good year makes at least the start of the year a good one. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm excited too that this month we are talking about things that you can do to get organised and start your year organised. And so it's going to be a really cool series. I think I've got 15 or 16 episodes that are ready to go for you. So every couple of days, you're going to see a new episode pop into your feed. So make sure that you are subscribed to the Art of Decluttering podcast so that you get all those episodes. What I did want to say too is that last year, so January 2022, we did a series over a couple of weeks and it was called 100 Things You Can Declutter Today. And so if you haven't listened to that series and you're looking for extra content to consume over January, maybe you're driving around or maybe you're just chilling on the couch and you want to have something in your ears, that is also a great series that you can go back and listen to and be inspired and go, oh yeah, I am going to go through that list, and there's a downloadable. So you can just click in the show notes and you'll be able to see, oh yeah, that's where I can download the checklist. And you can go through your house and there are 100 things that I am very confident you will be able to declutter. And we had lots of feedback after that series of people saying, oh my goodness, I do have a big white urn from the 1980s under the kitchen sink. And it was really fun. So go and have a listen to that series. This series, however, is one specific category per episode. So we're going to start the year with some areas that are going to help you to achieve your New Year's resolutions, both in decluttering and organising and your health. And then at the end of this season, we're going to start talking about what does it look like to get ready for the school year for those of you who are either teachers or you have kids that are in school programs or you work a job that, is term-based. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. I am not a New Year's resolution person. I don't think in 42 years I've ever made a New Year's resolution. Now, look, admittedly, when I was like 3, that's no big surprise. But as you get through your 20s and your 30s and head into your 40s, there is a real societal pressure to go like, what's your New Year's resolution? And when people ask that, when you're sitting around on New Year's and everybody wants to kind of go to your best thing of last year and your worst thing of last year. And then the question is like, what is your New Year's resolution? And I always feel confident to say, I do not have one. I do not want one. And I'm not going to be your accountability partner in you achieving your New Year's resolution. Because I think those resolutions are so often this big, audacious goal, but we don't actually have the steps to get there. And so what this series is about is me just helping you give you little steps to not achieve some big, audacious goal, but to go like, in this 15-minute episode or 10-minute episode that I am delivering every couple of days, what can you do in that area today that will help you ultimately achieve the goals that you have step by step rather than like there's this big thing that you've got to do. So that's what I'm doing. I also have always loved, and I don't know where this idea started from. I know that Mia and Holly and Jessie on Mamma Mia Out Loud do their Word of the Year. And I was watching the Meghan and Harry doco on Netflix the other day and they do Word of the Year. And I love doing Word of the Year. And I haven't got my word yet. So it's only the 1st of January, so that's okay. I think often my word is like a question. I think one year I had why not? And I loved that year. Just a question of going, yeah, why not? Why couldn't we do that? Why wouldn't that work? I think I've had freedom, but I don't have this one yet. So over the next couple of days, I'm going to be, sussing out what's going on in my world to find my word. In this episode, however, I want to talk to you about the most common New Year's resolution and how I can give you just a little bit of advice around decluttering and organising in that. So 95% of people who make New Year's resolutions make them about health. So the most important one in people's minds is I'm going to get my health organised. Now that might be eat better, exercise better, go to the gym, take up, some kind of physical activity, or it might be I'm going to take more vitamins, or I'm going to go do my health checks, or I'm going to get that skin check, or I'm going to, whatever it is. It's around health. And so I was thinking, what is it in health that we can be really specific about decluttering and organising? So I want to talk to you today about vitamins, health shakes, cleanse diets, powders, protein things, items that you buy with the intention of improving your health, but just having them in your house, here's mic drop, doesn't make them work just by having them in the pantry. You actually need to consume these things in order for them to have the health benefits that you're looking for. And so what I'm forever finding in people's homes is a whole lot of vitamins of, hey, I bought this green shake thing. You just add water. I know I've got athletic green stuff that I need to continue to use. But until you create some habits and have organization around that and declutter what's out of date and know what you're taking, it can be really difficult. So we're going to go to a really quick break. I'm going to be back with you before you know it, and we're going to go through some specifics around decluttering and organizing this area of your home. All right, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the funniest thing I found on the internet today. There is a thing called Quitter's Day. And there are statistics around people who make New Year's resolutions about how long do they tend to keep them. And Quitter's Day is the second Friday of the year. And so the way they've worked that out is by using some of the health apps that people use, so Strata and the Nike app and things like that do track people's increase in activity. Maybe you're logging your calories or you're doing something different by the second Friday of the year. So that means that by Friday the 13th this year, it is expected, that's Quitter's Day, right? So if you can last anything longer than that, totes to you, you're amazing. But we're going to talk specifically about vitamins, health shakes, cleanse thingies and powders and all the rest. So we want to ask some questions like, what do you have? What do you use? How are you going to store it? So that you can actually take advantage of that which you've got, because these things are not cheap, right? So I'm not a massive vitamin and mineral, what's the word? Sub something. This is the problem about recording episodes on your own. Supplements. Oh my gosh, there we go. There's not going to be too many episodes this year of just me on my own. I give you that. But supplements. I'm not massively into supplements, but I do have some. And what I have found for my brain is the best way to remember to take them is to habit stack. And so in our family, I have some vitamins on my desk and Cal has some on his desk. I've got a couple for the kids in their daily medicine box, and they've just got vitamin C and a multi. And then I've got some in my bedside drawer. So I'm going to tell you what works for us and see if you can get some tips and tricks around what might work for you guys. So I have on my desk vitamin D, executive B, and omega-3. That rhymes. I have those three on my desk. And the reason those are on my desk is because I'm forever forgetting to take them if I just leave them in with like the everyday medicines with Panadol and Nurofen and that type of thing. So I find that by having them on my desk, as I'm either having my lunch or I'm having, refilling my water bottle or I'm on the phone to someone, I can quickly think, oh, I totally haven't had my Exec B today, and I can take it. And so by keeping it there, even though it does make my desk a little bit cluttered, the habit stacking of sitting at my desk, seeing them, they're not in a drawer, they're just sitting on my desk on a little tray, and it actually really helps me to use those things. And then in my bedside table, I have magnesium and a women's multivitamin. And I take the women's multivitamin as soon as I get up in the morning, and I take the magnesium at night before I go to sleep. And so for me, I've got like these 5 supplements, and I use all of them because I've habit stacked and I've been really intentional about where they live. What I have found for myself in the past is that the doctor might say, oh, look, your iron's quite low or your vitamin D is quite low. this is the supplement I recommend. And I will be diligent and I will go and get the supplement. And what I get sucked into is like I'll buy the big pack because per tablet or per dose, it's a fair bit cheaper. Except that it's only cheaper if you use them rather than you have a big pack of 100 vitamin Ds that sit at the back of the pantry. And then in 3 years' time, you're like, oh, that's a bummer. And you throw them out. So be realistic. My thing now is I will buy the small pack. So the smallest pack, whether it's 30 or 60 or whatever. And only once I've finished that and I've got into the habit, do I then purchase it in a more bulk amount and have that savings. And I found that works really well for me. Sometimes I just get bored of taking vitamins. And so I will go through a bit of a season where it's like, yeah, I'm into my executive B. And then I'm like, whatever, I'm bored of that one. And so I'll take something else. And so if you've got really big packets, that can be a bit of a pain in the neck. It's also important to, maybe you do have them in different places. Bring them together and then decide what you're going to do with it. So if you bring them all together and then go, it's important that I take this one when I'm eating something, or I take this one at night, or this one helps with leg cramps, or whatever it is, then you can decide where to keep them. You might find that, you need it just at the door before you leave in the morning and it's a quick take your vitamin, you're out. You've got to think about storage things like heat and moisture. So you can't keep your vitamins, say, in the car if you live somewhere like Australia where it gets really, really hot in your car. You're going to lose the integrity of those vitamins and minerals. So you want to think about these things. Where am I going to put them? How do I habit stack? If you've got, like I was talking about, like that, the green shakes, where are you going to actually keep it so that it's easy to have a green shake rather than it's easier just to drink a glass of water? So maybe you have to put it in a weird spot. Maybe the shakes actually have to go in with the tea or coffee, or maybe it goes with a breakfast cereal. Like, where do you actually need to store it so that you can use it? Because using it is the most important part of buying it. Otherwise, as I said, it doesn't do anything for you. When you are starting the year, and maybe you are someone that does a resolution, or you don't do a resolution, but you're like, I'm just going to do the 1%ers. Here's a 1%er for you, is find some vitamins, minerals, supplements, whatever it is that you've already purchased. So you've already made the investment. You already have been recommended by a doctor or GP or pharmacist or whoever, your healthcare professional, and actually take them. So you're not making any further investment. You're just taking what you've already purchased and what you already have. You may need to check with your healthcare professional if it's still important that you take that particular supplement, or does it interact with any medications that you have. So, proviso, don't take any medical advice from me, but if you're allowed to take the vitamins, take the vitamins, take them, use them, get into a habit of where they're kept. Some people find it really helpful to kind of divvy out your week's worth and just have them in a little carry thing in your handbag. Do whatever it takes to actually use what you have. So your 1%er for today, the first day of 2023, is find what you have in this category, find what supplements you have, and use them. Simple. You don't need to go spend money. You don't need to buy storage solutions. You just need to find something you can habit stack it with. Maybe it's before you brush your teeth, breakfast, coffee, tea, morning tea break, the kids' lunch, whatever. Habit stack it and actually take those vitamins, take those supplements, and just see if you start to feel better. You don't need to go run a marathon. Just use what you already have. And that can be a really great way of starting the new year, going, I'm making an investment in myself without having to commit to a massive, arduous New Year's resolution that by Friday the 13th, it's unlikely you're going to be continuing. But if you get that habit of one of your supplements, you can totally do that past Friday the 13th. I hope that's been helpful. I'm pretty inspired myself. I want to go and check if Cal's taking his. I have a feeling there's a zinc bottle that he had that is still really full. Last time I was in his office, I thought this is suspiciously heavy when I had to move it for something. So I might go and speak to my whole family about what vitamins and supplements can we get into the habit of taking. I think that's everything. Make sure you come over to my Facebook group, the Art of Decluttering community. There's 120,000 people in there. It's a great place to connect. And if you think you've got a friend who would benefit from hearing about all these things over January that will help your home and your life become less cluttered and become more organized, I would love you to share this episode. Just go whatever app you're listening on, just hit share and send it in a WhatsApp message or a Facebook message or text to a friend and go, hey, if you've got 10, 15 minutes, have a listen to this. I look forward to being in your ears in another couple of days. And until then, enjoy the freedom. I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people who are the traditional custodians of the land this podcast is recorded on. I would also like to pay respects to their elders, both past and present, of the Kulin Nation, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love you to rate and review the show on your podcast app. That will help others to find the Art of Decluttering podcast as well. If you'd like any more information, you can visit theartofdecluttering.com.au, and I would love to see you in my Facebook group. Just search the Art of Decluttering community on Facebook and join today. I hope that you have an incredible rest of your day and enjoy the freedom.